Hey, what is going on, Xbox and PC fans? It's Josh back once again. Needing a little bit of assistance from you guys. I have a choice to make here relatively soon. I'm going to be upgrading my monitor setup. You guys may have seen in my Star Wars Battlefront Let's Play recently, you may have seen my three monitors that I currently have, which I have liked and used for 5 or 6 years now. I have three 1080p 23-inch HP glossy TN panel monitors, and model number is HP W2338H. They've gotten the job done really well for me, but recently I've had some eye strain, and a lot of it I guess is due to the fact that these are crazy glossy displays and have a ton of reflection, not to mention the fact that they also have PWM, which really isn't good for your eye. So looking to replace these three with something else, and I have a few considerations here I just wanted you guys' thoughts on. So number one is the Samsung S34E790C 34-inch curved ultra-wide monitor. It is a QHD display of 3440 by 1440p, about 109 pixels per inch, and it's actually a VA panel. It's supposed to combine the best aspects of TN panels, lower response time and deeper black, stuff like that, with the best of IPS's kind of better overall color reproduction and things of that nature. So it is a 4MS panel, comes with one display port, 2 HDMI, and a USB 3.0 hub, and it is VESA mountable, which is nice. But one thing about this display, I think the pixels are actually a little bit irregularly shaped, just compared to what you're going to see in an IPS. So even though it's a 1440p display, throughout, I don't know that 109 pixels per inch is going to look quite as sharp as maybe an IPS display would of comparable resolution and size, but that is one consideration to make. So there is another ultra-wide screen monitor that I am considering as well, and that would be the Dell UltraSharp U3415W. This is a similar form factor to the Samsung. Again, it's a 34-inch curved, basically 1440p monitor with 3440, so about a 109 pixels per inch on that display as well. But this is a pure IPS. Basically has extremely wide viewing angles, very good color reproduction, etc. It is PC Magazine editor's choice for those form factor ultra-wide displays. One of the downfalls of this monitor is that it does suffer from the IPS glow, typical of IPS displays, as well as some glow in the corners of the display, which I'm really not fond of. I do love really deep blacks like I have on my Samsung phones. They have those AMOLED screens, and everything's done per pixel, so those are outstanding in terms of contrast ratio, etc. But anyway, it's supposed to look absolutely phenomenal during normal viewing, and can be used in brighter rooms. It does have a matte display, a matte finish on it, as does the Samsung. But that is one consideration to make. And then the other alternative option is to basically replace the three displays that I currently have with three new 25-inch 1440p 16:9, the regular aspect ratio, aka just normal widescreen monitors. And those, basically I'm looking at the Acers right now, the G25HUs, which I believe have the same display panel as do the Dell and the Asus 25-inch 1440p monitors, which is actually an LG back panel. I haven't confirmed that yet. I'm looking into this. I want to confirm that this is a PWM-free model as well. And right now, where my three monitors do suffer from color shifting, from being different angles to my eyes because of the old TN panel technology in there, these are actually IPS displays, which should look phenomenal from any angle. So that may actually help me with my Eyefinity setup. And they do have extremely thin bezels, so that could actually look really good. There is no USB hub on these. There is no VESA mount, ability on these without getting another adapter for them, and basically it's completely non-adjustable in terms of the the mount for the monitor, the stand for the monitor rather. You can only tilt it forward and backwards a little bit, so there's basically just stick it where it is and that's where it lies. But that's kind of how it is now for me. These monitors that I currently have do not adjust in terms of height, pivot, swivel, etc. But they're the same monitor, so they are all the same height anyway, as is my desk. So that could actually work out really well for me and give me a much wider viewing angle than the 21:9 ultra-wide monitors. 316:9s, you're actually getting a 48:9 aspect ratio total. And I think it's like 7680x1440 is what the math works out to on that. It's about 11 million pixels versus about 5. So I'm actually getting over double of the overall screen real estate by going with 3 widescreens as opposed to a single ultra-wide at that 1440p resolution. So a couple other considerations to make here, guys, that I've just been thinking about is one, obviously the bezels do have an impact on kind of immersion in games, but I've kind of gotten used to it, honestly, and the bezels that I have now are much wider than they are on these Acer monitors, so that would be an improvement for me for sure. And just kind of multitasking, being able to snap things into a full 16:9 screen and have its own display really has been super clutch for me. And you really can work on 3 different things, all independent of one another, or even more, if you'd like to squeeze 2 into 1 monitor, which would definitely be possible with that higher resolution display on those 25-inch monitors. But I have seen people multitasking on the 34-inch widescreens. It just looks a little bit more cumbersome to me to try and rework your windows manually in terms of sizing, etc. But I can't deny that overall immersion factor that those monitors provide. So a couple things to consider there, and also, with regard to the Dell and the Samsung, keep in mind that the Samsung is going to have better contrast, better basically dark blacks are going to be a lot more black, a lot darker than you're going to find on the Dell, and you're not going to see any of that IPS glow or light bleed on the Samsung, which you will see on the Dell. However, where the Dell has an advantage is going to be in people who are really, really picky about color reproduction. The Samsung does a fine job, but the Dell is just a little bit better. And then in terms of the clarity of the text, again with those kind of awkwardly shaped pixels of the Samsung monitor, the Dell is going to be probably just really, really sharp, slightly sharper than the Samsung in terms of overall text appearance. Anyway, guys, these are my considerations. One last thing is, I don't know if you guys saw me playing Star Wars Battlefront on my Let's Play. You did notice I was playing that game at 9600 by 1800p. Even across 3 1080p monitors, that looks freaking bonkers. It's actually using an AMD feature called Virtual Super Resolution to render basically higher resolution graphics internally and then downsample them to whatever monitors that you have available. That feature, as of today, April 26, 2016, is not available whatsoever on an ultra widescreen monitor. So the resolution that you have natively on there, which is not bad at all, 1440p, basically 109 pixels per inch approximately, is still very, very good. But you cannot go above that. You are not able to render like a 4K resolution, for instance, and downsample that across a 2K screen or a 21:9 ultra-wide monitor. So, where I could do that across the 3 the 3 Acer monitors, I could not do that on the Samsung or the Dell. So keep these things in mind, guys. If you have any advice, if you guys ever used one of these ultra-wide monitors and you have any input in terms of just overall experience, etc. If you've used a 1440p monitor, how does that look for you guys, even at a 16:9 aspect ratio? I have no idea. I'm coming from these old 1080p TN panels I've had for years. So if you guys have any advice, that'd be awesome. If you guys get a chance to comment below, rate, share, subscribe for new videos, be much appreciated. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you.